Hey babes, Chadlantis. We're going to be going over the map Asylum, which is this week's Trials of Cyrus map for the game Destiny. I've already done this video before, and I've shown a picture similar to this one, if not exactly this one, but we don't have the in-game, like, first-person walkthrough of private matches last time Asylum was the map. For quick reference, here is the map right here for callouts, special locations, spawn locations, etc. The objective is actually at the B cap for the top of the map, and I'll show you where the heavy spawns in just a moment. These callouts are useful tools for reference if you don't know any callouts whatsoever, but as always, callouts are based on what you and your team understand it for each other. They don't have to be exactly this or anything like that. For instance, I like to call atrium water, parking and cafe. I usually refer cafe as the cafe location. Parking, I say C Street instead, personally. Jungle, I say like pile or tree instead, etc. So first things first, we'll cover the heavy spawn, which is actually right here, that heavy spawn location. The other heavy does not spawn because only one heavy spawns for trials, as you should know by now. Because the objective spawns at the top of the map, right at the B cap up there, that's where everybody's going to be fighting towards eventually anyway. So typical logic dictates that if you want to have control over the in-game guaranteed goal, you might as well control the map based on a location that would have an advantage on the guaranteed end-game goal. That happens to be this top control area where everybody just spams nades constantly from this door over there and from that door over here. So be very mindful of grenade spam constantly being used throughout this map. Pretty much every round they're going to be throwing grenades to the other side's door. Sticker grenades are actually really good at this map, more so than just normal, because you can just spam a naked right over that grass right here or the shrubbery or whatever, and it'll go straight through the door. And if you're here fast enough to throw a sticky grenade, you'll catch the people coming through the door like every time. The fact that you can like almost reliably blind throw a sticky grenade and it also tracks from there to one hit kill somebody is kind of ridiculous. There's also little hallways like this that sticky grenades are very good through. I personally use a lot of zoning nades. I have a sticky grenade here for a funny thing I was doing with friends last night, but regardless of that, I typically use zoning grenades like spike grenades, storm grenades, action bolts, etc. With things like spike grenades, lightning grenades, and trip mines, throwing on that wall right there is an amazing spot, as well as that wall right there if you think they're going to play through the doorway. And of course through here, if you can sneak it into that wall, really good locations for grenades, as well as that wall right there and that wall, because that covers off like the entire doorway, giving you full control of the area. And of course, if they're controlling the zone or trying to cap it, throwing those nades there or there or there, great spots. Typically, the team that can get up here fastest and throw grenades the best and then land a few shots as follow-up are typically the ones that will win the game. More teams over the weekend, you'll notice, more often realize faster that they won't be winning top, and then will relocate either in the street for an angle or into the water area. A lot of teams, including teams I play on, will typically send two people up top to spam grenades, and they'll have one people down here that'll run through the bottom location from either side, and then say they spawn from that side, they run through and they'll jump up here for angles on the people that are not expecting them. Or from the other side, they'll jump through the bottom here and jump up to this location. You can go left or right, but the thought process of it is going one person from the bottom as an angle, jumping upwards. You can also do it from the street side, from going down here to the pile and jumping up. Just be mindful that if you jump to the pile / tree location, you're going to be exposed to the people on the other side of the streets that might be able to get free shots on you. Many teams, once they realize they're a little bit too slow or just not able to do it, or simply their subclasses aren't spec'd for controlling the top the way that they need to, they'll typically go down to the water area, wait for special ammo to snipe, or just try to like get some head glitch picks right here with this stairway right here. Try to get some angles from the other side spawn. You gotta realize that after like 1 or 2 rounds, you're kind of failing up top for control. The other team's faster, or just laying their grenades better, or whatever. Try using the street as another like location to utilize. Use the water area for more angles. You need to mix up a little bit, and using the water location is a really good way of throwing off the other team. Your new strategy that they're going to have to adapt to again. Maybe the other team doesn't adapt to the new strategy very well, but they're clearly winning with the other strategy, right? Just know that as you're using those other locations and pathways to get to the angles and try to get picks like that, you will eventually need to fight for the top, and it's very difficult to do so if you don't have top control. The big reason for that is that the other team has like 3 people alive. They can have one person like sitting right here where they can't get shot from people down low, or from any angles on the snipe lines across the way. They just sit here, and the only things they can shoot them is either that door if they crouch here with this pillar, or that door if they crouch here with that pillar. The crouch here, they kind of can get an angle there, so it's not that utilized, but they can kind of pull back a little bit, and the cap point should be still capped. If not, they can kind of just still have control over it. And after the cap point spawns, after 30 more seconds, whoever's close to it will win, right? That'll be the person right here, not capping it for the 30 seconds, but we'll be there for the closest mark. While that person's doing that, there'll be 1 to 2 people kind of standing around these areas, watching those angles, covering anybody who's trying to make a push towards a cap point, and they'll typically shoot them as they're coming up. And this railing is amazing for head glitch because their entire body is going to be exposed down there, but only your head's exposed, and if they start shooting you, you can just pull back. You're not getting shot at anymore. Easy. It's a quick pullback from not getting shot at anymore. Whereas down there, you have to completely remove yourself from the fight, and because your entire body is exposed, larger mass to shoot at, easier for the people up top to hit you, while you have a very disadvantaged location to start with. So my recommendation for this map is to first try to find a way of working with your team to get up top and controlling top the best possible. If you can make that down like clockwork every single round, you probably will go flawless this weekend. And once you get top control, be composed, don't peek angles that are unnecessarily peaked. You can work with your teammates to try a team shot. Use like a sword or whatever to pull out to look around angles, or you can do the sit down trick if you want to be that guy. Just don't ever just kind of like jump up on this box like I like to do a lot, which is silly, and I shouldn't do it, but I like to do it just to like, out of boredom, I'll just jump on the box like that. Don't let yourself get bored. Don't lose composure. Don't peek snipe lines unnecessarily, especially if you don't have a sniper yourself. If you have top control, you have top control. You can keep pushing the other team if they're not that great and you want to end the round or whatever very fast. But if the other team is very good and you have top control, be smart about it. Don't just kind of like go up here and peek an angle with a palindrome or something while they're like head glitching on the stairs there with a sniper and just going to dome you as soon as you peek. It's unnecessary, no reason to do it. And with that said, keep in mind, if the other team beats you for that round, you can either give up the game by just learning lessons of how to beat other teams at top better, or if you really need to win the game, you're not going to really be learning lessons right now for how to beat other good teams with controlling top. So instead, use the street angles, use water angles, try to find a pick, get a sniper rifle or something like that to try to get a little quick kill, and then you can try to play against the team after the pick is grabbed. Things to look out for things that are like tricky spots, little head glitches here and there, little angles that you might not think about that are really good. For this spawn side, if you spawn, which will be right here, you can quickly run through that window, which is easiest for me as a hunter. We can do it as a warlock and titan as well, it's just harder. Jump to this box right here. If you do it very quickly, you can get a snipe line right here with her No Land Beyond or Icebreaker, because I guess, you know, meta and ammo. But you can shoot through the shrubbery there and hit people and dome them as they're coming through the doorway, or as they kind of like slide around it and go into ticket booth area. You won't be able to see their heads through the shrubbery, but you can see their names and kind of guess where their head's located. The worst case scenario is you waste one shot, no big deal. Best case scenario, you dome a guy on the other team instantly on the round, immediately giving your team an advantage. A lot of people use the scout rifles for this location as well, because current meta, high damage scout rifles like the Cossadus work very good for this location. Another thing to look out for, this little trick, is you can shoot through these little like wall gaps here, I guess, whatever. You can shoot through them. So if you're trying to look for a sneaky angle, just try to utilize these sometimes. For heavy ammo round, if you're on this side spawn and they're running through that doorway for heavy, you can just utilize this head glitch right here on the railing and just shoot at them as they're coming through for heavy ammo. If they made it pass for heavy, try to plant rounds ahead of time to where as you're going into a heavy round, you'll have a grenade hopefully, and you'll throw a grenade into that location. Even if it's a sticky grenade will still do AoE damage enough to hurt people a lot, make it easier to pick up the kill after the grenade, or it's a grenade comboed with other people on your team's grenades, and you'll be able to clean them out from that location. And of course, you can do like lightning grenades there or whatever, which will easily cover the heavy ammo area as well. Heavy ammo is very much a bait in this map. Only time I would ever go for heavy myself is if I know the other team's like in water or something, so there's no way they can cover or kill me with grenades or whatever if I go for heavy ammo. If anybody's anywhere near this location, a B cap or whatever for angles, there's not a chance I'll go for heavy unless I have like a sword and I'm thinking I can just do some block shenanigans just to troll the other team a little bit. Otherwise, it's really not worth it. You're probably going to trade with somebody or just get killed before you use your heavy ammo. Other things to look out for is across the map here. You can be on this ledge right here. A lot of people use it for sniping angles or high damage scout rifle angles to shoot people through the B cap area lanes from this spot. It's very exposed, so once people know that you're here, you're probably going to die for it, but you usually can get like one round of a free shots and a quick kill on somebody before the other team adapts to it. and then future rounds, you're probably not going to get away with it. Similar location, amazing spot is this window right here. You can stand on it and get even better angles, which is an even safer location because not only is it really out of the way, but you have even better line of sight for the enemy, I guess, positioning around B-cap. And if they ever start shooting at you, just kind of fall backwards and you have cover instantly. Problem here is the only way to get cover is you have to push towards the enemy, which keeps you exposed for a while before you're running back this way or running and hiding behind pile. And if you're behind the tree right here hiding, the only way out of here is to expose yourself again. Not a good cover for yourself, unless your team's doing a really good job of landing cover fire for your escape. A really obnoxious angle that isn't really ever utilized because it's really out of the way and doesn't cover the cap point, so nobody really ever is going to use it. Plus it takes a second to set up. So typically if you're ever really going to fight in water, people are going to run through that doorway and then they're going to run through this doorway here and they're just going to shoot across the way. There's no way you can get in the spot in time to properly utilize it. Or they'll run through the street doorway. But if you think the other team is pretty stupid and they're going to be very slow and wander into the water room, and you have a few extra rounds that you're in the lead of and you want to give it away to see if you can be obnoxious about it, you can jump up to this ledge up here and just have a nice angle that nobody ever looks at and just rain fire on them. Because be real, if you're going to be coming through this doorway right here, do you really first look up there? No. You might see a guy standing up there, but you're probably going to be distracted looking at these angles really quick first, try to figure out people in this room, and then by the time you finally figure out that somebody's standing up there, they've already gotten 1 or 2 shots on you for free. That same logic applies to when you're standing over here, and you're trying to look for these angles, and try to look across the way there, you won't quickly see somebody in the window. And if you come out here looking across the street or something, and somebody's sitting in the window, notice how I'm looking at the typical angles down the street with my ADS. I didn't cover whatsoever the window up there. Because I'm experienced, it's very rare once in the blue moon to actually get caught by the window, usually because I'm just distracted or talking in chat because I'm streaming or something like that. And I'll just kind of lazily look at these angles that are just the norm. But if I'm playing seriously, I always just kind of look at that with my peripherals while hip firing before going into an ADS. Another spot that's very obnoxious, just like the spot in water room, that's not going to be really useful for you, but you can probably pull it off if the other team is bad. Maybe they're camping water. And if they're camping water and your team has the top control, then you can kind of be silly about it by jumping up here for this angle and shoot at them as they come out of the water area. Nobody looks up here whatsoever. Or you can take it to the next level and jump across to this sign right here and just look at the entire street as they come across going up to the top area. It's a very gross spot. It takes a bit to set up because you have to jump up and do the parkouring. You might miss your jump or something like that. So in a real fight when people are like constantly engaging, I would not recommend the spot whatsoever. You're probably gonna get shot at before you actually get it set up. But if a team is camping up on the water and they have to eventually at the end of the round go across the street to go towards the cap point, you have control. You can get a really silly and obnoxious just joking around shot at people. We'll probably throw them off really hard and get you a quick round. If they have control over cap point though, don't use this spot or the one in water because they're just going to continue camping at cap point. You'll never see them whatsoever. And you're just going to be standing here for a minute and a half for no reason. One last spot that I really like using myself is if you jump on top of this car and go up to this container right here. It's a really nasty head glitch covering the entire street level right here. Many times if teams are pretty good at just head glitching or just camping in that room right there, we can't really push them off and they're a little bit slow so you get to the spot very fast. I'll run straight from spawn all the way up to here and just head glitch them and shoot them down the street as they're kind of slowly making their way across the map. Or if a team is on water room camping and they're trying to eventually look for an angle to make it their way up, they rotated seaside and they're going to make an angle pushing up over to the C doorway here and try to spam nades or something like that. Then while my team's kind of having top control, I'll go ahead and get set up here and team shot at them, or get free shots myself at least, at people pushing towards us. And like I said earlier, being patient, many people sit right here and do a really dirty head glitch on these stairs, shooting across. Because they're sitting right here, the doorway across the map over there gives you cap control. They're gonna sit here for days. They're not gonna move. They're just gonna be a nice big red light looking at the doorway. There's no reason to peek it because you have cap control and they have to eventually push you. I get bored a lot, so playing hours and hours of trials every single day, I'll typically go and try and make a play to kill them anyway, just for the sake of speeding things up. I want to try to help out as many viewers as possible, so I don't want to just sit around all day. But if your goal is to win no matter what and you never want to take any like unnecessary risks, don't peek that doorway. They're going to be hard scoping it with a head glitch. It's hard to land shots on. Just chill here. If they ever have to push you through that doorway, land your spike grenade or whatever on that wall. It'll cover the entire area, and they're probably going to die before they can get through the grenade. At the very least, there'll be one shot for you. Easy shot to pick up and clean up whenever they push to cap control. That's pretty much it for the tips and tricks for this map. General strategies, what to look out for. Don't just hit your head against the wall. Don't throw yourself into stupid deaths constantly by running into the grenade lines. Work with your team. 2 up spamming grenades and 1 down, or 1 up spamming grenades, 2 down jumping up. Pretty good general strategies to control the top area for the capture point. Look out for those little nifty angles. Otherwise, be smart, play with the team, do call outs, don't get tilted, keep morale high. You'll be just fine. If you have any comments, suggestions, concerns, anything, drop it in the comment section below, or you can hit up the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Chadlantis, where I stream daily, 6 p.m. until midnight Eastern time. I do trials Fridays through Mondays with viewers. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, we do a lot of raids or private matches with viewers or whatever. I'd love to see you swing by, and until then, thanks for being you. Thanks for watching. Adios.